Dire team back.
Alright everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm Niz. This is NizCast. And we're doing something a little different tonight. We're not casting SCS, we're casting CEVO. And it's CEVO-Open. We're in the playoffs. This is round 16, the first round. And it's going to be a best of 3, so it's going to be a little bit different than what we typically cast. But we got two pretty good teams here. We've got Team Midnite. They're going to be playing on the Radiant side. They finished 5th overall in the standings with a record of 8-4. And they're going up against the Business Gaming, who finished 12th in the brackets, and they actually had a better record of 9-3. Unfortunately, they had a bunch of forfeit wins, which is beyond their control. But their actual record was 4-3-4. All their losses were to playoff teams, and pretty high-ranked playoff teams that we've seen on this broadcast before. Ayumilov, Ape Zone, and Buyback Boulevard. 3 teams that we've seen. I believe all of them have gone to the finals in SCS, so we know that they're definitely fully capable teams. So those were their only losses. Their last 3 matches, they've actually been doing okay. They had 2 ties against teams that were unfortunately non-playoff teams. And their last match of the season was against a team that was right on the bubble, and they won that, so they got into the playoffs. And Team Exile unfortunately did not. Team Midnite, their 4 losses were well, one was a forfeit loss, and their other 3 losses were actually against playoff teams as well. They also lost to Ayumilov, who finished 1st overall, and they also lost to Team Jigga and the Squid Jigglers. 2 other teams that we've definitely seen on the stream before. So all the teams that these guys have beaten and lost to are no strangers to the cast, so that's really awesome to see. Their wins were actually against some pretty good teams as well. Void Boys, Ape Zone, and Net Gaming. They 2-0'd all of them. So that's pretty impressive. Their last 3 matches haven't been going too well either. They've got 3 ties in their last 3 matchups against Buyback Boulevard, Next Level Badasses, and High Self-Esteem, which were all playoff teams as well. So hopefully we should have a pretty good matchup here between these 2 teams. Let's actually get into the draft. We've got Shadow Fiend and Bat Rider were the first 2 bans coming up from the Business Gaming, and Team Midnite responded with an Axe and a Sniper ban. This opened up the Business Gaming to first pick Troll Warlord, and Team Midnite responded with an Earthshaker and a Beastmaster. That's kind of interesting, seeing a Beastmaster getting picked up this early. I've always felt Beastmaster to be a pretty strong hero, because he actually has quite a bit of flexibility now. He could be running the off lane, which we typically see, but he can also be run as kind of that position 4 support. And the way that you run him like that is you basically put him in the jungle and have him constantly stacking, because he's got his boar at level 1 now, since I think it was 2 patches ago, or maybe even last patch? 2 patches ago, I think. His boar can, because you can get at level 1, you can stack essentially 2 camps at the same time. The Business Gaming responded with Lion, so they've picked up 1 support, and of course Troll Warlord, which is a very valuable pick. Then Team Midnite bans out Bristleback, and the Business Gaming respond with Invoker. So Team Midnite getting rid of Bristle, which when you're running Earthshaker is kind of a little difficult to deal with.
5 seconds remaining.
It depends what you pair that Earthshaker up with. You're going to need a really strong disabling support, or someone who's got at least a strong slow. I think Skywrath Mage and Earthshaker Skywrath are incredibly strong matchup pairing. Sorry. The value that Earthshaker has against Bristleback is that, of course, you can just Vigil block him in, and that means Bristleback is going to be forced to tank quite a bit of damage. But that's essentially what Bristleback likes to do. So you need some good, strong source of damage coming out of your safe lane carry if you really want to be able to lock down a Bristleback and kill him in the lane. And Team Midnite, not sure what they're planning on doing with their draft, or what kind of safe lane they're choosing to go with, but they chose not to have to deal with the Bristleback, so they removed him. TA got banned out by the Business Gaming, and now Centaur gets
Radiant
banned by Team Midnight.
pick.
So Team Midnight getting rid of those offlaners. And the Business Gaming getting rid of all the mid laners.
Dire team pick.
So I wonder if that's protecting a potential troll mid, or if that is opening the way for something else mid, maybe a Storm. Although I think Storm against TA isn't necessarily the worst matchup in the world. But Team Midnight picks up the IO, the Wisp. I'm so jealous of teams and players that can play this hero. It's not my cup of tea, but I like watching it because Wisp can be all over the place
5
and
seconds
in your
remaining.
face, getting ganks, really setting the tempo for the game, getting tons of map
Reserve
control.
time.
So we'll have to look and see if they're able to do that in this game. And it now makes a little bit more sense. If they were planning on going Wisp with that Earthshaker, they would have definitely had quite a bit of difficulty trying to shut down a Bristleback and a Centaur. They're two very tanky offlaners, so they got rid of those.
Radiant team
But
pick.
the offlaner that Business Gaming choose to go with is the Clockwork, which is good and bad. Going up against the support duo. Wisp, not going to be able to really do much to the Clockwork. The cogs are going to do a pretty good job of keeping him alive. They don't really have a ton of damage coming out from that support duo. But Earthshaker can lay down the fissure
Dire
and
team pick.
prevent Clockwork from just destroying his cogs and running out. But keep in mind that's a dire side Clockwork, so he can cogs block the creeps into that little nook in the trees on the dire side, and that'll help pull the creep equilibrium back towards his tower. So he'll get a little bit more XP than most likely the Radiant offlaner. And well, in Dota 2, your Radiant
10
offlaner
seconds
typically is going to
remaining.
get a little bit more XP than the dire side. So because it's a Clockwork,
5
that
seconds
kind of
remaining.
twists the balance around, and Clock should be able to get a little bit more XP and maybe a little bit more gold
Reserve
because of it.
time.
Team Midnight picks up the Tiny. I haven't seen a Tiny in forever, but we are going to see not only a Tiny, but that Wisp Tiny matchup. That duo roaming around, picking
Radiant
heroes
team
off,
back.
but it's immediately countered by a Disruptor. So you can TP in with your Tiny, but I'm just going to glimpse that Tiny right back. And then you're just going to have a Wisp running around for, was it 10 seconds on the relocate? I forget exactly how many seconds it is. That's kind of embarrassing,
10
isn't it?
seconds remaining.
Fortunately, I can't see in the draft menu.
5 seconds remaining.
But Tiny, okay. So most likely we're going to have
Reserve time.
the Beastmaster in the off lane. We already know that because there's two supports. We've got an Earthshaker and a Wisp as your support duo. So I wonder if that means the Tiny's going to be mid with the Wisp, and then the Earthshaker and something else is going to be safe lane, or they're just going to throw the Tiny in the safe lane with the Wisp and maybe have the Earthshaker sitting mid
Dire team back.
and protecting their mid laner. Storm will be their final ban. So still getting rid of those tempo controlling heroes. And that's, I mean, it's pretty clear that Team Midnight wants to be in the driver's seat here.
10 seconds
They
remaining.
want their Wisp Tiny to be setting the pace of the game. And
5
they've clearly
seconds
banned out
remaining.
some heroes that accompany that. But Business Gaming's got the potential to still do that. They've got the Clockwork,
Reserve
they've got the
time.
Disruptor, which are huge on pickoff. So if there's any hesitation from Team Midnight, they're going to get punished by the Business Gaming. As for the lanes for the Business Gaming thus far, we've got most likely Clockwork in that off lane. We've got the support duo of Lion and Disruptor, and we've got a Troll Warlord.
Radiant
So Troll
team
could go mid. He's a pretty strong mid laner, but he could also go safe lane depending on how they view this current matchup. I don't really think one of these supports is going to be able to go in the off lane with the Clockwork, nor do I think he's really going to need it. I think there is potential for the Lion and Disruptor to do quite a bit of roaming and put some pressure on this mid laner, but as we see now, it's a Queen of Pain that is going to be the mid laner for Team Midnight, which is going to make it quite difficult for them to gank. They've got to be able to open up on the Queen of
10
Pain before
seconds
she's able to
remaining.
blink to safety, and that can be quite difficult.
5 seconds
Mind you, if
remaining.
Lion starts with Boots first and Smokes, he should have the move speed to be
Reserve
able to get a
time.
good wraparound on the Queen of Pain if she finds herself
10
kind of
seconds
down that
remaining.
ramp into the river. and they wrap
5
around from
seconds
behind.
remaining.
You also have to keep in mind that Queen of Pain can blink away, and she could get glimpsed right back, and then she's in a lot of trouble, because Queen of Pain, not the tankiest hero, and if she's used her blink, and you can get on her, she can definitely fall over quickly. It's going to be a Medusa is going to be the final pick for the Business Gaming, so they still have the flexibility of putting either the Dusa mid or the Troll mid. I have a feeling it's going to be the Troll mid and the Dusa safe lane, but I could be completely wrong on that. We'll have to see what the teams choose to do with this, but we've got our draft finished and we are underway. GLHF to both the teams. And let's introduce the teams. On the Radiant side, like I said, we've got Team Midnite. Playing their Earthshaker is going to be Indie Bear. Oh, thanks Titty Squeeze, and thanks actually both teams for allowing me to cast this. I need to get permission from both the teams, and both the teams were more than happy to have their game cast. But like I said, let's introduce the players. We've got Indie Bear on that Earthshaker. We've got Titty Squeeze or Mystery on the Wisp, aka the IO. We've got Breezy on the Queen of Pain. We've got ABC on that Beastmaster, and Cunning is going to be playing the Tiny. On the Dire side, we have the Business Gaming. Playing their Disruptor is going to be Diamond. Playing the Troll is going to be Alpha Omega. Playing the Clockwork is going to be Quilly. Playing the Lion is going to be Bellatrix. And last but not least, playing the Dusa is going to be Chivava. Hopefully I got that one right. We got both teams positioning themselves for their runes. Of course, Radiant typically gets the bottom rune, but Clock looking to maybe change that up a little bit, but he's going to think better of it as he sees two heroes. And he's going to back away. And Dire side, of course, gets their top rune as well. In terms of starting items, we've got a Smoke being held by the Earthshaker. So look for potential rotations from him. We've also got a Smoke on the Dire side being held by Lion. He's also got sentry wards as well. No one else actually starting with sentries. And no one, surprisingly, is starting with boots out of all these players. For the lanes, in the mid lane, it is going to be a Tiny Wisp duo going up against the Troll Warlord. In the top lane, it's going to be that off-lane Rexar, aka Beastmaster, going up against the Medusa, the Lion, and the Disruptor. And that leaves in the bottom lane the Earthshaker and the Queen of Pain going up against the Clockwork. And this is interesting that they chose to put the Queen of Pain in the bottom lane and the Wisp Tiny mid. It actually makes a lot more sense now that I think about it, because you're going to get a Queen of Pain against Clockwork matchup, which should be Queen of Pain favored. Queen of Pain should be able to really bully the Clockwork in this lane. And that also, because Queen of Pain can be left alone in this lane, that frees up the Earthshaker to really make a lot of movements into the jungle, doing a lot of stacking, a lot of pulling, or even just roaming around to the mid lane. That also means that the Wisp is located in the mid lane with the Tiny, so he's got easier access to runes to, of course, refresh his bottle, which he started with first. So good choice of lanes coming out of them. The top lane, Rexar taking a little bit of damage here. He's going to be fine in the end, but he'll probably have to use his healing salve. Unfortunately, I missed the first blood in the mid lane, as it's the Troll who gets the first blood on the Wisp. So something obviously went wrong there, as the Wisp gets picked off by the Troll, maybe playing a little bit too aggressive. I had just looked away from the lane. It didn't look like a kill was going to be happening anytime soon, but apparently I was wrong on that one. Bottom lane, like I said, Clock really getting bullied. He does have quite a bit of regen, so most likely expecting this matchup. Breezy, of course, not needing to start with anywhere near as much regen, as he's not expecting to take much damage at all from the Clockwork. In terms of wards off the start, we had, I believe it was Clock placed a ward down here. I believe it was just a sentry to block the camp, but Indie Bear already found that out with the 2 sentries he placed. Clock does have an observer off to the side, spotting a little bit of these rotations from Earthshaker. He's also got a ward up here, just spotting the top rune. On the Radiant side, we've got similarly placed wards, and It's not going to save Beastmasters. He's going to go down. That's the second kill now for the Business Gaming as they pull out ahead into a quick 2-kill lead. If we take a look at the CS, it's still a pretty close game as we've got Queen of Pain leading the way at 16-9. Clock, of course, not faring so well, 5-1, but that's to be expected. In the mid lane, we've got Tiny at 13-3. The Troll struggling quite a bit in that lane as well at 12-2. Although his CS is pretty close to the Tiny, it's a little bit strange to see a Troll down in the 4th position in terms of last hits this early in the game. So we'll have to look and see how he's able to recover. He did get that first blood, so that should help him along quite well. And we've got the Courier flying in with just a little bit more regen and a TP for him. Rexar seems to have been, I mean, we saw him get picked off, but seems to be struggling in this top lane. He has managed to get 4 CS, which is pretty good as a Beastmaster going up against a tri-lane. He's using his axes to stack the Ancients, but unfortunately there is a Sentry Ward there, placed by Bellatrix. Quilly bottling up the, or sorry, not bottling, activating the bounty rune there and trying to make a rotation just back down to the bottom lane to continue soaking, but Breezy's going to come out of the lane and meet him there to try and force him away from any kind of XP as much as he can. I talked about the rotation from the Earthshaker. He's going to lead with the Fissure, and it's going to be Cunning and Titty Squeeze that are going to focus down the Alpha Omega. Titty Squeeze getting the kill, but unfortunately goes down to the tower attacks. Nice rotation coming out from Indie Bear there on the Earthshaker to lay down a Fissure from the river and catch that Troll Warlord out. But unfortunately, once again, Titty Squeeze going down on that Wisp to the solo Troll. Bellatrix doing a good job of making the rotation into the jungle. He knows he doesn't have to be up in the top lane zoning, so he can be stacking some camps. And I have a feeling that these camps will be actually for the Troll to help him recover a little bit. Although they could just choose to leave them for the Dusa, depending on how the Troll, how much they value the Troll over the Dusa in terms of being able to set the pace in this game. ABC getting bullied back here by Shivava. He's going to take quite a bit of damage from the tower, having to activate the mana shield. Take a quick look at some of the skill builds we got going on here. We actually have 2 points in Thunderstrike and then 2 points in Glimpse. So actually no points in Kinetic Field yet. So he's not able to actually trap the Beastmaster into a Kinetic Field. Maybe feeling that he doesn't actually need that. He's got enough lockdown with the Lion. Of course, Lion getting both Hex and Earthspike. Titty Squeeze once again bottling up a rune. I think he's only actually gotten 1 rune this game. That isn't a bounty rune, so maybe a little bit unfortunate on that front. And Quilly's going to get the bottom rune once again, and it's going to be Haste. And he's looking on potentially going mid, I believe. Not sure if he knows that Indie Bear has already made a rotation here, but they need to be careful as there's 2 supports rotating from the Dire side. They're going to get the wraparound here. They're going to try to open up on to the Tiny, but there's the Fissure coming out from Indie Bear. The Lion's going to blow up as Cunning with the Tiny combo, and now they're going to try to chase down the Disruptor. Diamond running for his life. In the meantime, Breezy got a kill onto Quilly in the bottom lane. Or in the middle lane, sorry, at the bottom portion of this fight. Breezy then running away from Alpha Omega, but it's a turnaround. Alpha Omega needs to be careful here. Oh, maybe it's Breezy, actually both. Wow, Breezy somehow just managing to blink on out of there. Cunning now getting incredibly low. Will the solid attack land? It will. No miss chance from the uphill as Bellatrix is going to get a return kill there. So we had 4 heroes go down on the Dire side. Yeah, 4 heroes go down. The only hero lost was that Tiny. Somehow, Breezy getting away. I'm not sure how low his HP got, but it was much less than just a single auto attack. It was maybe if just the wind blew. I don't want to make the Breezy pun. I do not want to make the Breezy pun, but basically the wind could have killed him. So if you've got a pun in your head, that's your fault. That's not my responsibility. Can't blame me on that one. But with that, Team Midnite actually pulls out ahead in terms of the kills, 5-4. Just one team fight went their way, and oh, here we go. We got a glimpse back onto Cunning, and now Cunning's gonna land right into the Earth Spike. And with the tether from Mystery, will Cunning survive? Oh my goodness, just barely. Oh, that's 2 heroes now that have just survived on Team Midnite. But while all this action's going on, there is still this Dusa who's just been farming away in the top lane. 51 and 18 CS right now. But Breezy managing to keep up on the Queen of Pain at 51
Thought you had that,
and
didn't you?
24. Lots of denies on this Queen of Pain. And that means, you know, I spoke about it in the draft about the Clockwork being able to get more XP in this off lane. And he's getting certainly more than he would if he was going up against a tri lane. But with that many denies, oh my goodness. Certainly not as much as he'd hoped to get in a 1v1 lane. Diamond just kind of lying off to the side here, trying to put a little bit of pressure onto Breezy. He doesn't have level 6 though, so he can't lock down Breezy, but maybe just sensing that Breezy's getting prepared to potentially dive. Bellatrix now walking up and kind of forcing. Oh, Dusa with a dive, actually getting a kill onto ABC. So the offlane Beastmaster will go down, and there we go. We've got the action in the bottom lane as Bellatrix has landed the Earth Spike, and he led with the Hex, but Breezy's able to get a blink away before Diamond's able to get the glimpse off, but now he's going to get it off. The Cogs are off the mark as they mistime that, and then Breezy's just going to turn it around with the help of the Wisp Tether, and he's going to lay down the ultimate onto Bellatrix and get the kill there. Now Quilly's going to use the hook shot onto Breezy. Breezy's going to go down, but I think Quilly's going to go down. No, maybe not. He might tick out. Yes, he is going to tick out. There we go. Now ABC and Indie Bear going to chase down Diamond, who's trying to juke in the trees, but there he goes. He's going to go down. Now the Roar getting used onto Alpha Omega. The Earthshaker and the Troll, or the Beastmaster, smacking away on this Troll, but Troll pops his ult, turns around, and gets the kill onto ABC. Alpha Omega really proving that he is the Alpha here. As my goodness, just every single fight seems to be going one way, and then all of a sudden the team running turns around and flips that fight right on its head. And then of course we saw another turnaround, and that seemed to happen several times in this game. So players just,
Radiant structures are
you know,
fortified.
maybe overextending a little bit, trying to do maybe a little bit too much. Maybe it's the stakes of the game, the fact that it's the playoffs.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunately missed that, but Quilly got a deny onto the Lion.
Middle tower is under attack.
And that was down in the bottom lane. There we go. We're going to have to see our first tower go down as the mid tier 1 tower goes down. The top tier 1 tower on the Radiant side has also lost quite a bit of HP, and ABC is going to be denying it here. The Deuce is trying to walk up to get the last hit, but ABC did a good job of pausing his auto attacks to make sure that the Deuce was far enough out of position and that he was going to be able to deny it before the Deuce was going to even have a shot. Switch on over to the net worth here. We can see that the Deuce is indeed leading the way. 5,500 net worth, which is quite a bit more than anyone else in the game thus far. 5k more than the Queen of Pain, and then almost 1,000 more net worth than this Tiny. But I have a feeling some of that might, or the Tiny's net worth is going to change, as we've got 6 on the IO. He's actually 7 right now, but he's got Relocate. We haven't seen one yet, but of course once they start getting together with that Relocate combo, it can be very, very deadly. Indie Bear on the Earthshaker. He's got his Soul Ring. He's doing okay for himself. Still not anywhere close to his Arcane Boots or a Blink Dagger. Here's the Relocators. They're going to jump in onto the Dusa. The Tiny uses his combo, but Diamond's there with the TP. And we've got another TP coming in from Quilly. The Glimpse was just used on the Mystery. But there comes the Roar out onto the Deuce, and the Deuce is going to go down, but Mystery just relocated back to the mid lane, leaving Cunning here. And I think they're going to be more than happy with that. They got what they came for, the kill onto Deuce, or maybe not. They're going to go after Quilly as well, as the Cogs are going to both potentially save him, but get him killed, as ABC, with the last auto attack from the Boar, is going to get the kill there. 11-7 now in favor of Team Midnite. And we have a pause. This game has been pretty action-packed thus far. As we've got 18 kills in just 13 minutes, just under 13 minutes. Lots of rotations from both teams. Lots of aggressive heroes drafted. So expect to see more hero kills coming, as that was just the first relocate we've seen thus far. We've got 1,400 gold on that Beastmaster. So he's getting closer and closer to what I'm guessing should be a Blink Dagger. Don't see any boots on him yet, so electing. Okay, he's gonna pick them up right now. I was gonna say maybe electing to not go boots at all, which would be a little strange. But he of course picks them up right now. Looks like Breezy's gonna be going for the Orchid on the Queen of Pain. The Tiny's going to be going after the Egg Scepter. And the Wisp pretty much has his core. He's got his Tranquils and he's got his bottle. On the Dire side, Diamond doing alright thus far. He is 0-2 and 2, and Disruptor's a hero that really struggles with falling behind early. Thankfully, Diamond, despite being 0-2 and 2, hasn't actually fallen behind that much. So he's not really struggling on the Disruptor. So he should be in a decent position going forward. The most important part is that he is level 6, so he does have the Static Storm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That will actually help them quite a bit at both fending off any kind of relocate gank, but also being able to get a kill onto Breezy, that Queen of Pain, making sure that she's not able to blink away. Alpha Omega's got his Phase Boots and a Morbid Mask, as well as picking up a Cloak, so realizing that there's a lot of Magic Burst damage potential coming out of this Radiant side, so picking up a Cloak, or a Jacket as I like to call it, to hopefully keep himself alive just a little bit longer, so his team can make the rotation over there and either help him or get any return kills if he is to fall. Clockwork picked up a Chainmail. Looked like he's going for the Blade Mail as his first item, and I think that's okay as well. Going up against once again a burst heavy lineup, if you can pop that Blade Mail, any kind of return damage is great. Breezy also picking up the second Oblivion Staff, so getting closer and closer to that Orchid.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Deuce's
Dire's bottom
got an
tower
ultimate
is
orb
under
thus far.
attack.
Also flying in with the Courier of Voidstone. So that looks like it's going to be the standard Lincoln's opening. Oh, we've got Quilly
My voice.
opening up onto Breezy, and it looked like that was actually some aggression coming out of the Radiant side that just didn't work out for them. We got TPs from Bellatrix to come down. We already saw Diamond coming down there, as we just saw him rotating back to the fountain. And now Titty Squeeze relocates in with the Tiny, but immediately the Glimpse sends Cunning back to the mid lane. Now ABC throws out the Roar onto Bellatrix, but I think ABC is going to be the one in trouble. No, actually good play from Titty Squeeze, who realized his relocate was just ending. He gets the tether up on to the Rexar and brings him back to the mid lane to safety, as I'm pretty sure ABC was going to go down there. As we even had a rotation from the Deuce there, who did pop Stone Gaze, but unfortunately didn't really do much for them, and that means Deuce is going to be a little bit vulnerable for the next 60 seconds, as without Stone Gaze, Deuce is pretty gankable, although she is a pretty tanky hero. Oh, Breezy apparently pissed off. TP's back to the bottom lane and immediately gets a kill onto Diamond. Missed that on the camera work, but we can pretty much guess how that one happened. Just kind of blinked in and blew him up. Didn't even have to use Sonic Wave on that.
New treasures.
The Troll
Dire's
Warlord
bottom
electing to go
tower
with the
is under
Sand.
attack.
So maybe building into the S and Y, or choosing to go for the Halberd. Most likely the S and Y. That's typical build of the Troll. I'm missing her kill in the bottom lane, as Breezy's going to get one onto Quilly, but there's going to be a turnaround here as the Troll TPs to the bottom lane. And Indy even laid down the Echo, but he's going to go down as well to the right clicks from Alpha Omega. And 13-10 now. Still in favor of Team Midnite, but the Business Gaming definitely sticking with them at this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I guess now is a pretty good time to bring up the gold graph and see exactly where we stand. Team Midnite definitely still in the driver's seat, but not by that much. 3,000 gold lead, and switching over to the XP graph, we're actually in favor of the Business Gaming in terms of XP. Almost 1,500 XP in their favor.
Radiant's bottom tower
And the Business
is
Gaming
under
trying
attack.
to set a little bit of tempo of their own, is taking a very aggressive positioning in this bottom lane, trying to secure the tier 1 tower, but it may not work out for them as we've got to relocate. Titty Squeeze is going to be potentially going down. Cunning was already glimpsed back, so he's not going to be able to join them, but we've already got both supports going down for the Dire side. Now Breezy's going to be in trouble as the hookshot was used by Quilly. And Indy trying to get the kill into Alpha Omega, but it looks like he's going to go down. And they lose 3 heroes, just managing to get the 2 kills on the supports from the Business Gaming. I feel like maybe the Cunning TP's there after the glimpse.
Radiant's
I don't know.
bottom tower is
It
under
feels like
attack.
this disruptor is just really disrupting, for lack of a better word. These relocate ganks coming out from the Wisp Tiny. And it's really unfortunate because the
Dire's
relocates are
middle
good.
tower is under attack.
The relocates are really well placed, and it's really giving the Tiny the potential to get a kill and allowing them to get good pickoffs.
Radiant's
The problem
top
is
tower
that
is
with
under
Diamond,
attack.
he always seems to be in the right spot for these relocate ganks, and he keeps sending Cunning back, and Cunning's not able to use his combo and not able to actually secure that kill. And we saw right there as that turned into a big team fight. Oh, Breezy blinking in onto Bellatrix. Didn't realize that Quilly was actually invis, and this is going to be
Dire's bottom
a
tower
kill
is under attack.
for the Dire side. Breezy, unfortunately, not
Dire's
knowing
structures
that
are
Quilly was sitting
fortified.
there invis, and well, good placement from Breezy, realizing that the Lion would
Dire's
potentially be
bottom
vulnerable,
tower
maybe
has
baiting him a
fallen.
little bit. Oh, ABC's going to get glimpsed
Dire's
back
structures
here.
are fortified.
Right back into the kinetic and static, and with Alpha Omega smacking away at him with his axes. That's going to be one dead Beastmaster. And we've got an
Dire's
even kill
top
total,
tower
15 to
has
15.
fallen.
In the meantime, the Tiny and the Wisp managing to secure that top tier 1 tower. Putting a little bit of pressure on the Deuce, trying to prevent her from farming in any way that they can, but also securing a little bit of gold and map control of their own. Dire choosing to go for the Roche. So you know what? You're gonna put pressure on our Deuce up in the top lane. Well, we're gonna take Roche while your Beastmaster's dead, while your Queen of Pain is respawning, and you've got 2 heroes in the top lane. Yeah, you can relocate down, but we've got Glimpse still. Diamond doesn't have much mana, but he's got enough to send Cunning away.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Alpha Omega will be the Aegis holder as Roche goes down there, and we've got Quilly finishing his blade mail there, and ooh, you even got a blink dagger coming up for Bellatrix on that Lion. So that's really going to help him position himself better in the team fights and get some good, not only good initiations with Hex, but also really good Earth Spikes. Maybe potentially lining up multiple hero Earth Spikes. We'll have to see how he makes that blink dagger work, as Lion can be incredibly deadly with a blink dagger. It looks like we've got a little bit of a grouping here from the Dire side, as we've got 4 of them together in the bottom lane looking to put some pressure on this tier 1 tower, or maybe they'll actually rotate away. We'll have to wait and see. But the Dusa trying to find a little bit of space to farm, but there really isn't any on the map. The only place that she would be able to farm right now is probably in her own jungle. But we can see that Radiant side already has a Observer Ward in there. They want to be able to limit that farm as much as they can. They've also got one here, so spotting any kind of rotations coming out.
Radiant
Here's that
structures
4-man
are
push
fortified.
for this bottom tier 1 tower. We've got an opening on the 2 heroes, which are hiding below the tower, and this is maybe ill-advised, as we're going to lose the Earthshaker here. The Rexar managed to get away, so ABC will be running for his life. But maybe a little unnecessary death there from Team Midnite, as they had 2 heroes there potentially defending.
Dire's top tower is
And no one else was looking to TP on in. Maybe they were relying on the Wisp relocate, but we've already seen that Glimpse has proved to make that not too reliable. Breezy doing a good job of forcing out the Stone Gaze from the Dusa. Once again, that means the Deuce is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. Oh, we got a TP here from Bellatrix, and that means he's going to lay down the stun onto Cunning, followed up by the Hex. But we're going to have a relocate right back to the Radiant base, actually outside of the fountain, so they're going to have to run to the fountain to get regen to full. And Mystery will just go back by himself. And good job of Breezy to put himself in a position up here on the high ground. So Mystery was able to tether right to him and get away to safety. So good work there from the teammates on Team Midnight. Diamond smoked up with, I forget who it was, but he smoked up with someone else. But they have since broken that smoke, and now his will expire. So not able to get anything done with that smoke. I've got an AC picked up by Cunning. So he's off to a pretty good start on this Tiny. He's 22 minutes in, and he's pretty beefy. He's a pretty beefy rock right now, I have to say. How's Indy doing? 1,000 gold right now, so just under halfway to his Blink Dagger. Mystery, still with pretty much the same items we saw last time around, but he's got under 1,000 gold on top of that. Looks like Breezy's going to be going for a BKB. Of course, he's finished his Orchid a long time ago. ABC has his Blink Dagger and another 850 gold, looking to see what he's going to be going for. Breezy's going to open up onto the Troll here. The Troll is alone, and Indy's going to come in, lay down the Fissure. ABC's going to blink to the high ground, throw at his axes, but not using the Roar. Oh, Alpha Omega's going to pop the ultimate and turn around, and with a couple bashes, Breezy's going to go down. It was a 3v1, and Troll somehow walks away with a kill. ABC now gets glimpsed back into a Kinetic Static Storm. Good play by Diamond there. But ABC's going to try to run away. Alpha Omega, will he chase? He's already low HP. He will. And he'll get the kill onto ABC. In the meantime, in the bottom lane, Bellatrix getting a kill onto Mystery. And now they're going to try to go for Cunning. But Cunning's got better ideas as he's going to turn around. The Stone Gaze getting popped. But Cunning's got his back to him the entire time. So he's not going to get frozen at all. And he'll just be able to walk away. But Bellatrix getting pretty low there. But managing to get a kill onto Mystery. 19-15. That series of events definitely going very the business gaming favored, and they're going to get a tier 1 tower, and probably the most valuable tier 1 tower in the game right now, as it's the mid lane, and that's going to give them a lot of vision, a lot of knowledge of what's going on in terms of rotations, and also allow them to make some a little bit more aggressive rotations. We look on the mini map. They've basically opened up that avenue to go straight into the Radiant jungle. With the Wisp Tiny location, Wisp Tiny combination moving around together. Just going to go farm up the Ancients. And we may potentially have a little bit of a low in the action. I say that, but ABC's sitting here with a smoke, and we've got to relocate into the mid lane. They're going to go on to Bellatrix. Diamond is getting right-click down, hasn't used the glimpse, and they didn't relocate from very far away, but oh my goodness. Cunning trying to get the double with the toss, but not able to do so. Now he's going to try to right-click down Quilly, but Quilly had the blade mail up, and he's going to go down. And now they're going to try to chase down these last remaining heroes on Team Midnight. ABC's going to go down. The only one left alive is going to be Indie Bear on that Earthshaker, and looks like he's going to be fine. He still has Echo available, so maybe he can do some kind of tricky play, but it would be very, very risky. And the heroes that were low on the Dire side have since bottled up or regened in some fashion, as they're not really that low. Quilly was definitely the lowest, and he TP'd right back down. Indy will delay them a little bit by laying down that Fissure, but with the Troll ult, the Battle Trance, everyone has that incredible right-click attack speed, and that tier 2 tower didn't really stand a chance.
Gold for my armor.
In terms of items on this Dire side, Diamond, he has his urn, he's got his arcane boots, doesn't have anything else. I'm guessing he's most likely going to be going for a 4-staff as his next item. Doesn't really have any room right now.
Look at that.
But I imagine that would be his next pickup. The other option is, of course, going after an Egg Scepter to basically have the Static Storm mute any item use. But we'll have to see exactly what he chooses to go with. Alpha Omega has since picked up a Eye of Scotty, so he's got quite a bit tankier with that item pickup, but he's also got, he's increased his damage by quite a bit, not because Scotty actually increases your damage, although it does, but the fact that you're going to be able to slow your target, meaning more right clicks are going to be you're going to be able to land before they get out of range. They also have a Scotty finished on the Dusa. So 2 Scotties on the side of the Business Gaming, and looks like they're going to get another tower here. As Indy's going to fissure them once again, just delaying, but
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Team Midnite not looking like they're going to be able to open up on that. Quilly has since picked up an Ogre Club, maybe going for a BKB. That could, of course, go towards an Egg Scepter. I'll have to wait and see exactly what he chooses to do with that. And Bellatrix has since picked up a point booster. That happened as a result of the last fight. So most likely going for his eggs. And that's probably one of the most important pickups in the game right now. That's the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. He is level 10, so halfway to level 11. Like to see him hit 11 before they really lay down the Echo. But, of course, with him just getting the Blink Dagger, maybe waiting is going to be the wrong choice, as you want to be able to just be like, surprise! And blow someone up with the Echo. Speaking of which, ABC surprises Diamond with the roar. He just yells at him and the Disruptor falls over. But they managed to get the kill onto Breezy, who was the reason that all those heroes were gathered in the mid lane, and ABC is going to lose his life as well. So it was looking like a decent move, potentially baiting Breezy in that mid lane, getting them the kill onto Diamond, but it goes the other way as they lose not only their off laner, but their safe lane Queen of Pain. And I can't help but feel that this tiny Whisk combo hasn't been able to really do enough in this game, and that really feels offset. Or I should say, that feels disabled or limited by the play coming out of Diamond on this Disruptor. His glimpses, every time they relocate, it's not that difficult to just select Glimpse and put it on the Tiny, but the difficulty is in being in the right position so that you're always there. Every time they want to relocate on what they believe is a vulnerable target, Diamond's there, and he's just going to lay down that Glimpse and send that Tiny back immediately. And it's worth noting that his positioning is so good in relation to where that vulnerable target is, that he's close enough to get that Glimpse off immediately, but he's far enough away that the Radiant side doesn't know that he's there. Because if they know he's there, obviously they're not going to relocate him because they know the Glimpse is going to happen immediately. So spot on positioning from Diamond. We're going to have a Satanic getting picked up by Alpha Omega. As, he does have enough to buy his Reaver, the last item he needs to complete that Satanic, but maybe holding on to a little bit of his reliable gold. Yeah, there we go. He's going to purchase right now, as that'll bring him right down to 1250 reliable gold. So doing a good job of managing his gold. And that's something that we don't see enough players do. But I think the Business Gaming right now, they're in a pretty good spot right now, so they don't really feel too much pressure. They don't feel like they're going to have to rush out any kind of item pickup. So if you can manage your gold a little bit better, then why not? Breezy I don't think he realizes that he's directly in the middle of the enemy team. They're kind of wrapped up completely around him. Bottom lane, Troll going on this Tiny, but we also have action in the top lane as Diamond taking quite a bit of damage. Quilly's going to hook shot in, but Breezy's going to get the ultimate off, the Sonic Wave. That's going to get the kill onto Diamond. Bellatrix using the finger bang onto the Earthshaker, getting the kill there. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, that man-up fight, Troll's going to win that one as the Tiny's going to go down. And Team Midnite, they're going to lose 3 once again, just getting the 1 kill, and it's on a support. Mic real quick there, just sneezed, but but Team Midnite, every single time there's an engagement, they seem to be falling further and further behind. There was a time in this game where they were pretty much in the driver's seat in terms of kills, in terms of map control, in terms of net worth, but that's not the case anymore, as the Business Gaming is ahead 28-17. Looks like it could be 29 here, as Beastmaster's going to have to use the Roar to keep himself alive, and that means they have the potential to turn around here on the Troll Warlord. But the Troll's team comes and arrives on the scene and helps him out. Indy's going to be the first to fall. Breezy getting incredibly low, but he will get the blink off And now they're just going to smack away at this tier 3
Radiant's
tower.
is under attack.
Quilly's going to make a rotation down as well, so they're going to have 4 heroes down here.
Structures are fortified.
Diamond's not even there. He's up here counter warding in the Radiant jungle. And there goes the tier 3. Now they're going to smack away at the racks. Quilly's waiting to hookshot in. There it is. He's going to hookshot right onto Mystery and Breezy, getting both of them in the cogs. The racks has already gone down. Quilly's going to go down thanks to Cunning smacking him with the tree. But both Cunning and Breezy are really slowed by this Stone Gaze. And both their BKBs have worn off. Cunning now will get stunned up. And I think he's going to go down to the Dusa here. Oh, maybe. Will he get back to the fountain? Yes, he will. Nice fissure coming out from the Earthshaker. And Breezy getting the kill onto Bellatrix there. Now, the Dusa running for her life. Cunning will toss ABC at him. ABC doesn't have access to Roar for another 6 seconds. Static Storm getting laid down, just kind of disrupting the fight. Not being paired with a Kinetic as that was still on cooldown, but the Dusa will go down. Now, there's the Roar onto Diamond. Breezy and ABC combining for the kill there onto Diamond. And in the mid lane, Indie Bear is going to lay down the Echo Slam onto this Troll, who's now going to just stand and fight. And the Earthshaker, just barely gets the fissure off. 4 heroes having to focus down the Troll there and just getting the kill in time before the Earthshaker goes down. Breezy was also incredibly low.
Radiant's top tower
As a result
is
of that
under
fight,
attack.
Breezy just says, guys, I think we need a Necro book. Buys a complete Necro 3 from scratch. As a result of that, he got the kill onto the Troll there for the godlike streak. So getting a lot of gold, and I wish I clicked on the fight recap, but I imagine it was going to be pretty separated by the duration of that fight. As that fight lasted for quite a while. There was a lot of action all over the place. But I think that's the first fight that's actually gone Team Midnite's favor in quite some time. You have to keep in mind, though, that they did lose their set of racks in the bottom lane. And, well, that's what the business gaming came there for, and they definitely got what they wanted. However, I think they gave up a little too many kills for what they had planned. But we're now sitting 29-22, but that set of racks down is going to be probably the most significant factor in this game. So let's take another look at the net worth. And, well, when we first looked at it, it was definitely Team Midnite favored, but it's all the business gaming right now as they extended their lead to almost over 15k. It's come up a little bit since that last fight, coming a little bit closer to a 10k gold lead, but the business gaming definitely in the driver's seat right now. You can also bring up the XP graph. They're definitely in the lead in that one too, about the same lead for them, about 12,500 or so XP. But 35 minutes into the game, XP is not the biggest in the world, of course. Both teams looking to get 16 up on everyone, but most of the heroes in this game are going to be 16. As I bring up the hero level here, we've got the Earthshaker on 11. We've got both supports on the Dire side, 13 and 14. Got the Clock at 15 and the Wisp at 15. But most of those, actually, it doesn't really matter too much what level they have of their ultimates. The most important ones are probably the Lion, getting the Finger Bang up to 16 for a little bit more burst damage. But more importantly, that reduced cooldown goes from 100 seconds down to 40. And the Earthshaker with the Echo Slam, of course. More damage is always good when you're trying to burst someone down. Troll getting the Aegis there as he soloed Roche.
A gift from the Tempest of
Now you have to ask, what does Team Midnite do from here? They've got a really strong tempo controlling mid-game oriented team. And I don't think the mid game went anywhere near how they had planned it going. And I feel like they're struggling to claw themselves back in this game. And they have to do so on the back of a Tiny. And Cunning's definitely got his work cut out for him because he's going up against Sedusa, and that's going to make it quite difficult. And we heard a hook shot going off in the bottom lane, but he's got his Egg Scepter, so he can use those hook shots to, as often as you please. ABC just finding himself in the wrong place. There's going to be a fissure from Indy that's going to save his life. One more auto attack coming up from that Deuce, and that would have been a kill. Breezy managing to get a kill in the mid lane on to Bellatrix, who's almost done his Egg Scepter. He actually has enough to buy it right now. Just holding on to his gold a little bit, maybe saving reliable gold. Although maybe, I guess he got bursted down too quickly that he wasn't able to purchase and save a little bit of that lost gold. Let's get an
Dire's
update
bottom
on
tower is
our
under
carries
attack.
in this game. We've got a butterfly has since been picked up on the Dusa. The troll has finished his satanic, but he's also still holding on to that Aegis. And then we look on the Radiant side. Cunnings got a BKB. We saw him using that last fight. And he's also picked up a Manta, another 1,800 gold on hand. So we'll have to look and see what he chooses to get as his next item. The other carry, I'd say, is Breezy on this Queen of Pain, who's got a BKB. Saw her using that last time around as well. That Necro 3. And speaking of Necros, looks like ABC's going to be picking one up as well. He picked up a Vlad's on the back of that last fight. But now he's also picked up a level 1 Necro book. Cunning and Mystery still trying to play aggressive here. I feel like they're almost relying too much on the relocate in this position. As the Dire's definitely threatening in the mid lane. Speaking of threatening, Alpha Omega walked up onto that high ground and ABC had to lay down the roar. Speaking of laying down, we've got a fissure laid down as well.
Radiant's
But Troll's just going to get a free melee racks here. Now he's going to get a free range racks as well. We've got the Wisp Tiny in the bottom lane trying to trade, going after the tier 3. They're going to get that. Will they be able to get a melee racks now? I think there's a call to go for the base races. They're calling for the tier 4s. The Dire side has started to go for the top tier 3, and they're going after the super creeps or the mega creeps first, but we're going to get a TP back from the Troll. Breezy's going to lay down the ultimate. He is going to get the kill on the Troll, but he still has the Aegis, so he's going to be respawning. He also gets a kill on a Diamond, and Cunning and Mystery are smacking away at this throne. We've got Bellatrix and Quilly coming back. Quilly just bought back. Mystery's going to go down. Cunning now, still smacking away. He's going to have to go after the clock here, who pops the blade mail. And unfortunately not able to get the kill. He tried to TP there. That was a little weird. And he's going to go down. The throne is going to stay alive with about 2,000 HP. But the Radiant has... well, they've lost their top set of racks, and I think with all these buybacks on the Radiant side, they're probably just going to rush down and try to end the game. Most likely going through the bottom lane, as it was just pinged out, but that was pinged out by the Dire. Yeah, Cunning pings out the throne, so it looks like they're going to try to make a play for the throne, at least maybe not immediately, but sometime pretty soon, as they're definitely gathered to push. Breezy also just picking up a Scythe of Ice, so he's going to have that sheep stick. He's just trying to help them push a little bit faster, wiping out this creep wave before theirs even gets there. What's important to note is that Quilly already bought back, so he's not going to have access to buyback. This is going to be a 5v4, but Quilly's going to be up in 25 seconds, and we've seen these fights last quite some time. They're not quick fights, so Quilly will probably be joining the fight halfway through. Breezy's going to blink and pop the BKB. Diamond's going to go down at the very start of this fight, but I think ABC and Breezy are both going to go down. Breezy blinks away, just barely, will survive, but we've got Mystery, Indie Bear, and Cunning that are going to right-click down the throne, and they're going to get it. So despite Team Midnite looking like they were not in a good position in that game, they managed to pull out the victory with a little bit of a base race, and just... I mean, I guess they just chose the right play there. So good call from Team Midnite, as they got the better end of that trade. But this is a best of 3. This was only game 1, so Team Midnite will go ahead 1-0 in the series. We've got at least one more game, potentially 2 more games left. So I'm gonna hop on out of this score screen. I'm gonna leave it up for a second actually, but I'll throw it to music and. Hopefully we'll have the next game starting soon. Not sure if the players are going to want a break or anything like that. But just a reminder, I'm Niz. This is NizCast, and of course this was CEVO playoffs. This is the Open Division round of 16, the first round of the playoffs. And looks like we've got a pretty good matchup. That was an exciting first game. Hopefully you'll stick with us for the rest of it. If you don't, hit that follow button, twitch.tv/NizCast. I love casting Dota, so come back and watch some Dota when you got a chance. If you want to see this game again, or you want to maybe pass it on to your friends, I'm going to be uploading all the videos to YouTube, so you can watch the VODs there. It typically takes me about 24 hours, just under 24 hours to get them up there. Last but not least, you can follow me on Twitter, @NizCast, so I'll let you know everything that I'm doing with the stream and everything that's going on with any kind of tournament I'm casting or anything like that. But Don't want to miss the lobby, and I need a little bit of a break, so I'm going to throw it to music, and hopefully you'll stick with us. Thanks for watching.